Hi, this is Mike Bracco from AskForADeal.com, and I'm here today to talk with Joyce House, who is also known as the Miss Coupon Diva, and I'm excited to talk with her because I actually personally recognize her from TLC couponing show that they had, but she's appeared on Ellen, appeared on the Today Show, a bunch of shows about her insane coupon practices, which we're going to talk about, and her site, MissCouponDiva.com. So hey, Joyce, welcome.
Hey, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Your site, MissCouponDiva.com, is your place to connect with folks and show them your tips and your story. And first, I do want to talk about your story, your interesting story with Pampers and how you first got into this whole couponing thing a little ways back. So talk about that and how you got into couponing.
Well, as you know from my story, I had my first child when I was very young. And I did have an issue with a box of Pampers that even at that young age, I knew if I brought 24, I was supposed to use 24. And 8 of them just looked like something was wrong. I didn't feel comfortable using them. And I went to my corner store where I had gotten them from. And he essentially said, well, what you want, a dime? And he was very condescending. And having been used to people feeling like I could just be disregarded because I was a kid, I decided to write Procter and Gamble because back then you didn't have the internet, and you didn't have the 800 numbers, and I enclosed one of the diapers with my letter. And a couple weeks later, they sent me a letter saying yes, that it was something wrong with the batch, and here's coupons for some free ones. And then the next day they sent me a case. And for my daughter's time, the rest of the time she was on diapers, I never had to buy another diaper for her because I had so many coupons from them. And at that young age, it taught me if I didn't have to spend the money for that, I had money for other things. Thus, my coupon career started.
Nice. Now, just looking at your site here, it looks like you have a consulting business where you help out folks, have classes. Talk about how what you do to help folks out and get them to find some savings.
Well, I essentially have consults with you, and I teach you my saving technique. I teach you how to look at your advertisements in a different way, and as a consumer, to take control over the prices that you pay versus just paying willy-nilly and just going to buy stuff when you get out of it. And then once I do a consult with you, with my fee, I take you shopping, and we actually put my practice into play. And then for 2 weeks after that, they can call me, and if they're at the cash register and they're having a hard time, they call me and ask me what to do. And I also keep them up to date with what good sales there are and what they should be buying for that week.
Nice. Now, a great quote that I've heard you say a couple times on videos I've seen is, if you don't have time to save, then you haven't been broke enough. And I love that. And my question is, I think a lot of the misconceptions are things people think about when they think of coupons is, I have to clip out the circulars, I have to do all this research, I have to figure out what I have to buy in combination, sort of all this work, for this savings.
Well,
So what do you think about that? Is that true? Like, how do
well,
you?
if you truly need help with your finances and you need to stretch your budget, you'll make the time, or you just ain't been broke enough. And it's that simple to me. If your money is important to you, you'll take the time. And once you learn my system, it won't take you much time. It doesn't take me maybe tops 20 minutes a week because I don't let myself run out of product. And if you think about it, when you go into the store prepared, doesn't it take you much less time than when you go in there and then try to figure out what you need to buy?
Yeah. No, I hear you. um, Now, I've seen, sort of the misconceptions too is people who into couponing, sort of buy things they don't need. And, I know on the TLC show you had a huge sort of war chest of goods, but you do good with them. You give them away to people. Talk about how you help people out with some of the stuff that you get for free in many cases with your couponing.
Well, with couponing, you may see the show is a little. Most couponers don't shop like that. You never need to go out if you're a true couponer and shop for 3 weeks in one shopping trip. You just don't do it because you can't save money that way. You let yourself go. So I literally, when I went to the store this week, I picked up 3 items because I didn't need to pick up anything else. And that's how true couponers do. They watch the cycles of the coupons and they know what to get, when to get it, so that when you do go, you will buy enough supply that will last you for maybe 6 weeks, because that's how the coupon cycles run. But you don't go into a store to clear a shelf. It's really no need for you to do that. And I think when people see those shows, they get caught up in the amount of stuff instead of what you actually need to get. The things that a lot of us couponers buy that we don't need, technically, it may be to meet a minimum requirement purchase that you have to make, and you know that item's going to be free. So then it allows you to donate to your food shelters. I can give stuff to my neighbors because it didn't cost me anything. So as a couponer, even though it may be something in there I don't use, but it's free, I'll get it anyway, and then I'll just pass it on.
Gotcha. Nice. So if you're, if you had to boil it down, and certainly there are many things to learn, when you get into couponing, and there are many nuances. But if you had, the one or two things that you tell someone, like, make sure you do this. These are the top two things to take into consideration. What would be those top tips that you would say?
Be prepared. Care enough about your savings that you want to learn how to save your money, not just click a button and something tells you what to do, because you're going to miss things because you haven't educated yourself into learn how to do it. I have a saying on my site. It's I want to teach you to fish, not just give you a fish. And that parable goes: if you give a man a fish, he eats for a meal, but if he learns to fish, he eats for life. So sit down, take the time in the beginning to learn the coupon philosophy that I teach, or anyone, however you learn it, and you will never have to worry about feeding your family again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of just educating yourself to what there's out there, because the companies want to help you if you're willing to take the time to learn what's
Gotcha.
out there for your help.
Yeah. One thing I thought was interesting was, I think a lot of people, you think couponing, you think of the supermarket, but you mentioned, so there's a lot of other areas besides the supermarket where you can think about finding a lot of savings for coupons. What are some of those other areas, outside of the supermarket, where you think couponing can be a huge benefit?
Well, I get coupons every year to get my car inspected for free. I use them when I go to the home centers. I use my coupon philosophy for everything. I do not make a purchase without seeing how I can get the best deal on it. And that's all, gathered in there. But just, I want people to think about, if I have a $300 grocery bill, it was actually $300.68. I only had to give 52 cents out of pocket. Do I not have $300 to go get the car fixed, get some tires, do an oil change, join the gym? Whatever it is I might want to do, go on a vacation. That could be your vacation fund, like it was for our family. To think of your coupon savings as helping you do other things.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people kind of have that mindset of it just being for groceries, but that's a good point. One question too I have is, you have a pretty big following on Facebook. Talk about your use of Facebook, how you're using that to connect with folks who are interested in finding deals and savings.
Well, each week I try to go through the circulars and put on a tip of where I found the best deal. It's a place for people to contact me, as with my MisconceptionsDiva.com site, to ask me questions. Right now I'm running a promotion on my Facebook page that if I get to 20,000 fans, we're going to have a day, and the fans and I are going to pick that day, where I just answer the phones, and answer the phone, and deal with their questions for that day.
Nice. Yeah, it's a cool idea. I mean, there's no shortage of people looking for sites to find interesting information and deals. And kind of parlaying into that is obviously the popularity. We certainly here at AskForADeal have our own little slant on finding deals, but there's a lot of deal sites out there today. What is your opinion on those? Have you used the deal sites like Groupon's of the world, and what do you think about them?
I am what do you call a dial tone, a ring? What do you call the revolving phone girl? I believe in looking at things and touching them and figuring them out for myself, and then I do the research. So to answer your question, I don't do a lot of internet coupons, except I do sometimes print them. But unfortunately, people have done things, and there are a lot of stores that don't accept them because there's been a problem with counterfeiting them.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of go for the short deal. The other thing I wanted to say to you about people with coupons is think about if you don't use coupons, you absolutely have never used a coupon, don't want to use a coupon, use them. And then the $60 that you save it. You weren't using coupons before, so now you went through the register and you saved $60 on your $100 bill. Well, now take that $60 and put it in a CD, put it in the bank, do something with it. And there's another way for you to start building back up your savings because you weren't saving that money before. Now this gives you something to save.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great message, especially for our economy now, which maybe isn't the best it's been here in the U.S. So that's awesome advice. I'd like to finish just on asking again about your consulting business. You're based in Philadelphia, right?
Yes.
Is it just strictly in that region, or do you have?
No, I Skype just like we're doing,
Okay.
and I do phone consults.
Okay, nice.
And I travel. I'm actually going to Myrtle Beach in a few weeks to do a seminar for consult for a company that asked me to come down and do for them.
Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, I have your event schedule here on your site. So is that the PA conference?
No, that's in October. I'm actually going for a private company that wants me to come down and teach the staff.
Okay, cool, nice. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. And if anyone has any more advice and things they want to get and connect with you, they can go to misconceptions.com or connect with you on Facebook as well. But again, thanks for taking the time and talk with us. And especially now, this time, people are looking for savings, so it's great that they have resources like you to turn to.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
All right.
Look forward to hearing from you guys.
All right, definitely. Take care.